Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Wendy, I'm home.
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Go to hell and take your friends with you!
Carbon Day! Huh? No!
Get off my plane.
Remember Salmon that promised to kill you last?
That's what made you did it!
I lied.
Right, hello. Welcome to Movies to Drink To. I nearly said the horror tab because we were on the email thing earlier. But anyway, we are back with another movie of days gone by. Another B movie, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely a B movie.
Oh yeah. Today we are talking about The Horrors of Spider Island from 1960. Anyway, Horrors of Spider Island from 1960, the non-sexy version. So we'll probably talk more about it at the end. But basically, there's two versions of this film. One is sort of a softcore porno,
Yeah.
and one is more heavily edited, which is the one we're going to talk about because that's the one that's on YouTube. So, directed by Fritz Bodiger. No, cool. Starring, just no one, really, with the exception of Barbara Valentin,
Yeah.
who was the only person that had a career after this,
Who plays Babs?
who plays Babs. And she's really good friends with Freddie Mercury.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big icon on the gay scene in like the sort of 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the plot of The Horrors of Spider Island beeth.
Survivors of a plane crash on a remote island find it is covered by spiders. Not really. When bitten, the survivors start turning into spiders.
Zombie spiders, then.
Yeah.
Zombie spiders. I mean, it sounds scary.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds horrendous. So, our story begins with some sweet jazzy music. Get used to that. This whole film's soundtrack is like softcore porn, kind of
Yeah, it's
loungy
weird.
jazz
None
music.
of it really fits.
No, not at all. No. And we're in good old LA before it was all on fire. And we have what appears to be a casting call. It's a room full of beautiful women waiting to be seen by Mike Blackwood, producer.
Yes.
Yes, so it's a casting couch porno.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
It's
probably.
just a queue of women.
Yeah,
Like, all talking about Singapore, because apparently they're going to Singapore. But none of them seem to know
why?
where Singapore is.
No.
Or anything about it. Even the woman who says she's been once.
Yeah, so, yeah. Also, probably a lot cut from this scene. In fact, yeah. You'll get to scenes in the film when you're watching this version, you're like, bet there's something missing here.
Yeah. Quite clearly.
But we're not here for that. We're here for the riveting story and rich characters. So yeah, the ladies are discussing Singapore. It's revealed that they are dancers. Enter a guy named Gary, who makes a joke I still don't understand. One of the ladies, this is Babs,
Yeah.
she stands up and she says, I've already been to Singapore. And Gary says, you look like it.
Yeah, I don't know what this means, but it feels devastating.
Yeah, it feels racist as well, except Babs is an Asian.
It's like, I've been to Singapore and you look like it too. It's like, oh, what?
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I think it's a burn.
Has she got a tan?
Yeah.
I don't, yeah. No idea. He goes in the office, he goes in Mike's office, along with Georgia. Georgia is Gary's girlfriend, basically. Yeah. So anyway, Gary takes a seat behind Mike's desk. He's the one actually auditioning the ladies for this touring dance troupe,
Yes.
which is a thing that I guess still exists.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, yeah, dance troupes are a thing.
Yeah. Georgia instructs Mike to show the ladies in one at a time. So, first off, we have a young lady named May who enters, who is a dancer, and she was a dancer with the Croquettes for 1 year. Gary asks to see her legs.
Yeah.
He hires her on the spot. There's no dancing involved in her audition whatsoever.
No.
It's just like, let me see your legs.
Yeah, this other guy's like, there you go, like, take a look at her pins.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're in.
Yeah. It's like, do enough dance. Then we have Rhonda. Rhonda isn't a dancer, and no one really knows what she's doing there. Rhonda is asked to leave.
It's such a weird scene. It's like, come in. Like, so you're a dancer? No. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Does she say something like, what does this have to do with dancing? Or
Yeah.
something? And it's like,
Then we have Babs. Who, remember, Babs is the one Gary made that nonsensical Singapore joke about. It turns out Babs had to leave her last dancing gig because she was a bit of a slut. So they're like, all right, you're hired. Again, no dancing involved in her audition.
and then she gets hired on the condition that she doesn't have an affair.
Yeah.
She's like, you're in, but no affairs.
Then we have Carolyn, who is actually asked to dance. And Carolyn is a ballet dancer, and she has some incredible legs on her.
Yeah.
But she's sent packing because ballet is not what they're looking for.
No.
However, Mike says, come back tomorrow. I've got something else that might suit you. This is probably another cut scene after that. So, the only one we've seen dancing that can dance is asked to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not for you.
Next, we have Gladys and Doreen. They're a duo, and they are hired, again, without having to dance.
Yeah. It literally, we told you to come in one at a time, but we always work together. Right, you're in.
Yeah. Don't know what I was going to... Then we have Linda. Linda is a stripper, and Gary knows this because he's seen her dance before.
Yeah.
Ooh, George is side-eyeing like...
Yeah, she walks in, immediately takes her clothes
Yeah,
off.
just immediately starts stripping.
Yeah, just while she's coming through the door. And then they're like, what happened to your last job? And she said, the manager wanted to bang me, basically, and I didn't want to. And the guy's like, Gary's like, you always so picky?
Because I'm expecting some nookie. Yeah. Linda offers to dance, but they're like, nah, you're hired.
Yeah.
Lastly, we have Nellie, who's new. They actually asked Nellie to dance in the audition. She's hired.
Yeah.
So that's 2. They actually made dance.
She does all that.
Yeah. And of the 2 that danced, only one got the job.
Yeah.
As a dancer. The rest of them were just hired on the spot because they were hot and apparently kind of slutty.
It does make you wonder how the one that wasn't a dancer didn't just get hired anyway.
Yeah.
If she hadn't said, I'm not a dancer, she would have been in.
They were just hired her, yeah. Now, even though Gary is the boss, it was actually Georgia throughout the auditions that was deciding if they were going to be hired or not, which Mike mentions afterwards. He says it seems a bit odd, but...
Yeah, letting the woman do all the choosing.
Yeah, what's that about? This is 1960, goddammit. But it was actually Gary deciding, and he was instructing Georgia with signals using his feet. At this point, I mean, this goes nowhere.
Yeah.
In fact, this wasn't worth typing out or mentioning.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense at all. Why didn't he just say yeah? Like, what's he hiding and why?
It's like, well, actually, it was me. It was actually me deciding with certain signals I was sending my, secretary / girlfriend.
Makes the other women think that I've got a woman in a position of power when really I haven't.
Yeah. I've duped them all. So, they've got the girls, right, going to Singapore, and they leave in 10 days.
Yeah.
Cut to a plane taking off, I can only assume 10 days later. And this plane is now flying to Singapore. At 15,000 feet, whilst flying over the Pacific, they crash into the ocean. It's not really made clear why. Engine failure or something like that.
It just crashes for no reason.
Yeah, there's just a few shots of the plane going down, cutting between a guy with a radio receiving a mayday call.
Yeah, this guy works in, I'm assuming, a radio tower somewhere.
Well, does
and
he?
it's just him like in a little box or something, just like, hey, what's going on? Like, it's so like... Yeah.
It's literally just a guy with a radio in a totally barren room.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not a control tower or anything.
No.
He's just like, I can't help
no one
you.
else.
Yeah. It's just my ham radio, like, ooh, I'm not actually a control tower. I'm really sorry. Bye. Good luck. Yeah.
Hope you find who you were looking for.
Yeah. Oh, it's breaking up. Oh, fuck. Honey, it happened again. Back in LA, Mike gets news of this, and he's reassuring someone on the phone that there's no reason to panic. All we know so far is that the plane caught fire and we lost radio contact over the Pacific.
Seems like a pretty good reason to panic.
Yeah, they're dead, Mike.
Yeah.
Don't panic. It's just the plane caught
Stop
fire.
overreacting.
Yeah.
The plane caught fire in midair. Everyone lives through that.
Yeah. They just, we lost contact over the largest ocean in the world.
This is 1960.
Yeah.
Like, technology is at its peak.
Back out in the Pacific, the survivors of the crash are on a raft. It's Gary and the dancers, and Georgia, the stick in the mud. No one else has lived.
No pilots.
No pilots, no other like
cabin crew.
No other
just them.
passengers.
Yeah.
Of a plane of like 200 people.
I
Just
reckon
them.
They did, and they ate them.
Yeah, they killed them.
Yeah, there's not enough room in that dinghy.
Yeah. Gary's like, no, only the hot babes.
Yeah, Gary's
left everyone else
sat
behind.
crossing and uncrossing his legs as to who gets in the boat.
One of the dancers then spots land, so they paddle over.
There's a whole thing on this boat as well where the women are begging for water, and Gary's like this monster. He's like, no, no water for you. And then I think Babs goes to actually nick some water, so he fucking backhands her.
Yeah. Obviously, Gary's in charge.
Yeah.
Because he's the only man.
Yeah, he's the man. But yeah, like they're like clearly like they're all passing out, making like weird moaning noises. Like, just a bit of water. And he's like, no.
So yeah, they've spotted some land. And they're heading over on the raft. I bet Gary is thinking, like, I'm going to be stranded on an island with a bunch of hot dancers, and I'm the only guy. This is going to be great. If it wasn't for Georgia.
Yeah, if Georgia wasn't here.
Let's just hope a bunch of killer zombie spiders don't ruin things. So anyway, they've got to this island, and the women are being pathetic. Gary is having to pick them all up and carry them onto the beach. One of them can't even be bothered to get out of the raft. Babs is pretending to be dead in the swell.
She's like lying face down. Yeah. And Gary helps everyone first. She's like lying in enough water, face down, to drown. Like, and Gary's like, no. Goes and gets somebody else. There's women walking by themselves, and Gary's like, come with me. Like, helping them first. And then he's like, all right. Like, lifts her out. Yeah. And they immediately just lie down on the ground.
It's only Gary that's got any strength left.
Yeah.
Because he's the man. And maybe he stole all the food and drank all the water.
He's like fully refreshed.
Georgia also starts crying because, why not? So they've arrived on this island. We then cut to the next day, I guess, on the island. And Gary, has found water.
Yeah.
He informs the ladies, and all of them suddenly are full of beans.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. They all get up running over, and it's just like, this is great, fantastic. Like, you were dying.
The sound effects when Gary finds the water are incredible as well. So he runs up and he's like, like, it's so weird. And then all the girls run over and the girls they're all like splashing water on themselves, drinking the water. And within like seconds, Gary's like, that's enough.
Yeah, it's like Gary. It's a waterfall. It's an endless resource.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I'm in charge of that now.
Yeah, I'm gonna ration this waterfall out. So Gary's like, all right, ladies, that's enough. Let's go look around. So they venture further into the island, and one of the dancers finds a hammer, indicating that there must have been someone on the island. Gary looks at the hammer and says, a hammer with a long handle must have been used for excavating. Most likely uranium.
Yeah, how
Bit
has
of
he
a
got
fucking stretch, Gary.
Because obviously uranium mining, there's like that's just a hammer. That's all you need.
What?
It's a long hammer because uranium's like irradiated.
Yeah,
so you need
deadly,
a long hammer so you're not right so close to it.
Yeah.
Like if this far away is safe. This safe.
I do like these old things where it's like someone makes some like wild guess that's just like would never be correct.
Yeah.
But in this film it is.
Yeah.
So they then find a cabin. Yay! But they open the door and find a man, I guess dead, entrapped in a large spider's web. I say I guess dead because they have made no effort to make him look dead. He's got no makeup on or anything.
Standing there like...
He's just stood there with his eyes and mouth open. Yeah. You're like, hello?
Just clearly hanging on to this big spider web, this big rope spider web. Like, and they're like, oh, he's definitely dead. He's like, actually...
I'm just stuck.
Yeah, if you could just get me down. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah. Oh, the sound of the final breaths of air leaving his body. Yeah. Like, actually, no, I'm definitely alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, chuck him in some pit somewhere.
Yeah, literally. Well, first of all, like the girls are stood there, like, and he's like, "Come along, girls," and they're all like in a group. And as they move away, there's this like angry-looking spider has joined them for a minute. And they all walk away, and he's like, "Oh, you!"
So, one of the dancers, as they find the corpse, one of the dancers faints and they run off. Apart from Gary and Georgia, who they take a look, and Georgia says, "Dead in a huge web." Gary carts the body off, and Georgia instructs the dancers back to the cabin. And yet, as the dancers walk off, it is revealed that on the ground, just behind them, where they were standing, is a fucking huge, pissed off looking spider. And
he's got angry eyes.
He's got angry eyes. And one of his spider legs is kind of doing like this. He's doing like this kind of Italian, like.
Yeah. Why are you order?
It's a me, Giuseppe. Giuseppe the spider. Get off my island, I'm about your face. Over in the cabin, Georgia and Gary have found the dead guy's diary. It turns out he was a professor. And guess what? He was looking for uranium.
Yeah. Fucking how does Gary just know
Gary.
These things? I fucking love this bit as well because they're talking about the his journal that they found. Georgia says, we must keep it from the girls that he had a premonition of his terrible fate. And Gary goes, look here. It says he had a feeling that something terrible was going to happen to him. Yeah, Georgia just fucking said that.
Also, his diary mentions that he heard a peculiar hissing noise.
Yeah.
Which I guess was Giuseppe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they decide to keep this information from the rest of the dance troupe.
Yeah.
For whatever.
No reason.
Yeah, no. Some of the dancers then enter and they start eating and speculate as to the size of the spider that spun the web. Then they get startled by the door handle turning, but it's just one of the other dancers entering.
Yeah, I know, like the spider's grown opposable thumbs.
Yeah.
It's like, just me, Giuseppe.
It's just me, Giuseppe. You got everything you need?
Get out of my house.
So, and they found all the professor's stuff, including like his shirts and stuff. And they also have enough food to last a month. That's how much they've found the professor's food. So, and two of the dancers are arguing over a dead man's clothes. The girls are starting to get each other's throats a bit. And then Linda the stripper starts stripping, because why not?
Yeah. Every time she's on screen, stripper music starts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Linda's got like... She's got like her own little theme music, as does Babs, actually, I think. So, anyway, it's bedtime now, and some of the dancers decide they're going to sleep outside because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, like you've seen that spider web. They're like 6 foot wide spider web.
We're on an island. Like they don't know anything about this island still because they've only seen like this much of it. Yeah, and they're like, well, I'm definitely gonna sleep outside.
Why?
Of this dead man's cabin.
Yeah, because this giant spider killed him clearly.
Yeah,
but let's sleep. Oh my god! Anyway,
it'll be fine.
Babs, she heads for a shower. This is clearly where a lot of cuts happened.
Yes.
Because she's showering for a while, even in like the edited version.
Yeah, I know. Okay, we get you. She's clean. Yeah.
Oh, and then Gary finds the professor's revolver. It's not a revolver, but they keep calling it a revolver throughout the film. It's just a gun. It's just like a Browning or something. Yeah. It's not an actual. It doesn't revolve. The bullet chambers don't revolve. It's not a revolver.
It's a cap gun.
It looks like it's made of wood.
Yeah,
Do you remember like in the other guys where they give him the wooden gun?
Yeah.
It looks like that. Gary, he then decides to go for a little walk because he's also fucking stupid.
Yes.
He makes it as far as the porch though before he starts getting off with Linda, just the stripper. They just start making out.
Yeah.
Georgia catches them and then Gary blames the heat. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah, it's fantastic. He's like, oh, God, look what this heat made me do.
Yeah, oh, no, get off of this stripper. Oh, no. Anyway, as Gary has a perfect excuse, Georgia takes it out on Linda and slaps the shit out of her.
Just like twice.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic.
But Linda's not like, well, it's the heat.
Yeah. You heard him.
Jesus. As Gary is wandering through the jungle.
Shirtless.
Oh, yeah, he takes his shirt off.
Yeah,
forgot about that. Walking around half naked. He's running through the jungle and a thunderstorm starts, but not raining. And Giuseppe is watching him from the trees. I see you have a nigger man. Think a big and sexy man, eh? Maybe gotta say hello to your ladies. Then you see you big and sexy, eh? I got 8 fucking arms. I can have 8 ladies like this, eh?
All the women.
Yeah. There's plenty of Giuseppe to go around. Gary, eventually, whilst wandering through the jungle, he finds his way to an old dead tree. but so does Giuseppe.
It's Giuseppe's tree.
Yeah. And he attacks Gary from behind and he gets him in the neck. Gary throws Giuseppe onto the floor. He shoots him with the professor's revolver.
Yeah.
But it's too late for poor old Gary. And he falls to the floor and he starts speaking with an Italian accent. Hey, got me, mamma mia. No, I'm joking.
It's a me, Gary.
I've been a bit of fuck. Gary actually starts to mutate and his face becomes all gross and he grows fangs.
Yeah.
The ladies back at the cabin, they've heard the gunshot and they start freaking out. And then part of the cabin porch collapses for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just like the awning just comes down like, oh, God. So the next day, Georgia is organising a search party for Gary. She goes, you ladies go that way, you ladies go that way, etc., etc. Linda is told to stay behind because Georgia's still pretty miffed at her about the whole smooching Gary thing.
Yeah,
So you just stay here
You
and
stay
clean
here
up.
and don't fuck anyone.
Yeah, because there's no one here to fuck.
Yeah.
So stay here.
It's the only way the men on this island are safe.
Yeah, the one man.
The one man.
Yeah, who's my boyfriend, by the way.
This is when they all split up to go looking for him, and then we're subjected to about 10 minutes of Gary!
Yes.
Gary! Just constantly.
Yeah, Babs and one of the others are looking for Gary. So yeah, it's literally just, it's women walking around shouting Gary for fucking ages. Also cut with some shots of Gary's now fucked up face.
Yeah.
He's all gross and weird. And yeah, cuts between that.
Occasionally he tries to fill one up with his weird hand.
Yeah, it's just shots of them shouting Gary. The southern one, that's it. The one that's just like, oh, hey there.
Yeah, it's the worst southern accent ever. It's like, it varies like to different dialects.
The thing is, this is a German film.
I know.
And it's all dubbed by Americans. That's who they pick for the Southern Belle. Yeah, so the southern one is nearly got by Gary. His freaky mutant spider arms emerge from a bush to grab her from behind, but she just kind of bats it away. She doesn't even see it. She thinks it's like a branch. Like, ugh. And Gary's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, never mind. I'll try again later. Back at the cabin, Linda is just doing fuck all.
Yeah, she's bopping away to her stripper music.
Yeah, she picks a flower. She sits by the stream and just, procrastinating until it's all ruined by, I assume, Gary attacking her from behind. We don't really see
him. We just see him like sort of in the water.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And then she's dead.
Yeah. The others hear the scream. They rush back to find Linda dead in the water. The sexy stripper music is still playing.
Yes.
Over
the
the shots of her
entire
dead body.
She's like under the water. It's da-da-da. And this is my favourite bit as well. They sort of pull her out and you go, she's been strangled. Because that's the well-known attack of the spider.
Yeah, so...
Oh, that's it, because she goes, she's been strangled. And one of the other girls goes, a spider. It's like, what? All the spiders in the world are like, oh, I nearly had you if my legs were bigger. If you wake up at night and you've got a spider on you, it's guaranteed. He's like, oh, I can't do it.
Giuseppe's got a lot of friends.
Like a spider chain.
Yeah, a necklace of spiders all pulling together.
The only way we can kill our prey. So weird. Why did she say that?
Well,
I
I think
spider.
it's because Linda hasn't turned into a spider.
Yeah.
Because so that's to say, if she'd been bitten, she would turn into a spider like Gary. So they can't afford 2 lots of makeup.
But they don't know that Gary's the spider Gary yet.
No. They just think that really big a Giuseppe is strangled her.
Yeah. He strangled her.
What?
Yeah. That spider wearing the gloves. She's got leather gloves on.
Yeah, that one. The one with the really menacing eyebrows.
What if all this time the hillside strangler's been in prison and it's not him? It was a fucking spider the whole time.
It was a pissed off Italian spider.
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, she's not turned because she wasn't bitten. She was strangled, apparently.
Yeah.
Later that night, Georgia is consoling a very upset Anne on the porch. Anne's one of the other dancers. And Babs and some of the others are speculating if anyone is coming to find them. Georgia comes inside and Babs takes a pop at her, blaming her for Linda's death, because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it was clearly a spider that strangled her.
But if she hadn't been banned from fucking and left in the
Yeah.
thing, then she'd still be alive today.
Yeah, if she and Gary had gone and fucked,
Yeah.
Gary wouldn't have gone missing.
Oh, yeah, and he wouldn't have
Yeah.
turned into the strangling spider Gary.
Yeah. And then Babs and another dancer start fighting, and the other dancers are all sort of whipping Babs with
Yeah.
a belt. Probably a lot cut from this scene.
Yeah, this goes on for a while as
Yeah.
well. And like to the point where I was like, I am uncomfortable.
Just these just hot women like
Yeah,
just
just
whipping
wrestling.
another one, and
Well, yeah, they get the belt out.
it's like, what the fuck?
It's like, okay.
This fighting only stops when they notice a pair of spider hands coming through the window that are about to grab Georgia.
Yeah.
But Georgia screams, and I guess Gary runs off like, oh, again.
Yeah, foiled again.
But
And
when he
Georgia-
runs off,
Yeah.
it's like when you see a shot of him running away, clearly without spider hands, and he's like, it's just shot from behind. So he's just like, oh,
It's like,
still with no top on. Like,
what's his name from Futurama?
yeah, Zoidberg.
Zoidberg, that's it. But yeah, immediately as well, as soon as the hand disappears, Georgia goes, ugh!
Yeah, faints. Yeah,
Faints.
and yeah. I don't know what it's like. I don't know. It's like he's shy about killing them.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm gonna. Oh, they spotted me again.
He does it. He can't perform while being watched.
No, I guess not. The next day, the dancers have spotted a ship on the horizon. They start a fire, but the ship doesn't see them. And it is revealed that they have been there for 28 days. We've had a bit of a time jump, it
Yeah.
seems, from day 2 to day 28.
I imagine
Day 3, I guess.
all of
28.
those days are in the original cut.
Yeah. They just had a month-long orgy.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of banging, like
Yeah.
scissoring and stuff.
Yeah, everyone's fucking knackered now. So they've been there for 28 days now. They've only got enough food for 3 more days. Oh, and Anne is suicidal
Yeah,
for this
literally.
one scene.
They build a fire on top of the thing, like, and there's the ship in the distance, and they're like, "Hello, take us with you, hello!" And the ship fucks off because they're annoying.
Yeah.
And then Anne's like literally runs to the edge of the cliff, and one of the other girls like, "Oh no, come along!"
Yeah. But it's just in this one scene
yeah.
that Anne is suicidal.
She's fine 10 minutes later.
Yeah. Sometime later, 2 dudes arrive on a different part of the island in a rowboat. Bob and Joe. I believe it's Joe.
Yeah.
So they work for the professor, right? Bob is also horny and he likes to drink.
Yeah, he's a horny alcoholic.
He's about to hit jackpot. Bob's mate Joe, he goes looking for the professor, leaving Bob to get drunk. But he's distracted from this whiskey. He's got a whole case of whiskey with them. He's distracted from his whiskey when he hears the unmistakable sound of ladies giggling.
Yep. Having the best time
They
in the
are.
lagoon.
So all of the ladies, they're all butt naked, having a swim in a lagoon of some kind, splashing around, not a care in the world, forgotten
Okay.
all about the fact that they're running out of food and there's a giant spider after them.
Yeah, I have a question. Where's Spider Gary been?
Yeah,
the last
where is
28
Gary?
days?
Yeah.
They're like practically like they're all relaxed and like having a great time.
Yeah.
Are they not worried that Spider Gary's gonna? Ugh.
Yeah, no, not anymore. Like he's not mentioned for a while.
No.
So, one of the dancers, Gladys, she swims off on her own and is grabbed by something. The remaining dancers swim off and leave her for dead.
Literally.
Babs' idea.
Yeah. That's like fuck her.
Yeah. But yeah, something sort of grabs her from the water and drags her away, and Babs is like, all right, girls, let's go.
Yeah. There's no saving her. Like she could be alive. No,
No,
let's
she's
just
gone.
go.
Because Babs is our leader because she's the hottest.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Somewhere else, some of the ladies are walking through a field, and I'm pretty sure you hear a dog barking in the background in this scene.
Fenton!
Yeah.
Fenton!
There's no dogs in this film. But if you watch it on YouTube, where it is, and you have the subtitles on, it does say dog barking.
Yeah. It's one of the spiders trying to lure him in, pretending to be a puppy. Bark, bark!
A bark. So they're wandering through the field, and they stumble upon Giuseppe's corpse.
Yeah, he's been there for like a month.
Yeah,
Like,
and
this is the first time they've come across him.
yeah, and he's not decomposed really.
No, not at all. It's
No.
like he's just been shot.
Yeah. It's almost like he's not real and he's made of paper mache.
Yeah.
So yeah, they find poor old dead Giuseppe and Gary's gun.
And Gary's bracelet.
Yes. So they walk off, and as they do, once again, Gary Spider Hands appear and fail to grab one of them.
Doesn't he grab a scarf? And she's like, give that back.
Yeah, basically, he's like, no. Again, Gary. He's only got Linda in all this time.
Yeah, he's
in
only
a
got
month.
one of them.
He's got one of them. He must be starving.
Yeah.
Oh, and maybe Gladys. Or more likely, Bob's got Gladys. Oh, well, yeah. Bob has got Gladys. It was Bob that grabbed Gladys, right? So the two of them are now on a beach, and Bob has grabbed her, taken her to the beach. He sits Gladys down, and she says, "What do you want from me?" And he just starts kissing her.
It's like, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
What do you reckon?
I mean, I get it. This is 1960, but at any point has that
Even
been
for 1960, this is
pudding
pretty.
technique? Like just hiding behind a rock while she swings past. I'm like, and then 2 minutes later,
Abducting
like,
her.
Yes, this is what I wanted the whole time. So like, yeah, you've basically kidnapped her.
Yeah. All the while, the romantic music is still playing.
Yeah. And she's fine with it. She is okay.
Yeah. Because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hasn't seen a man in a month.
Yeah, it doesn't matter that he smells like whiskey.
Yeah. Plus, you know. I haven't seen a man in a month. Thank God.
Yeah.
Never mind. Is it man or bear? It's man or spider.
Yeah, man or spider. No, I choose the spider.
The dancers that abandoned Gladys catch up with Georgia and they tell her what happened. At this point, Bob's mate from the boat just happens to be passing by as well. This is Joe. Yeah. Georgia points the gun at him and is like, "Hands up!" I'm not sure why, but his instant reaction is to try and grope her.
Yeah,
she's got she's got a gun pointed at you, and he's just like, "Oh, hey there, baby." Yeah. So it's like put his hands around her.
Hands up. No, up. Oh, sorry. Can't blame a guy for trying.
Yeah. Could be my last moment. You've got a gun.
At least he died doing what he loved.
Trying to sexually molest women. She directs him to the cabin. It seems the ladies think this guy is the one that took Gladys, and they're questioning him. But just then, who should appear but Gladys, arm in arm with Bob.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, no. Like,
so she's falling for it.
Joe's like chuckling away, and he's like, "Well, you'd better take a look at what's coming up the road." Like,
yeah.
It's like they're together now.
Yeah. They're in love now.
Yeah.
My mate Bob, he knows how to charm the ladies.
Yeah. But he tried the whole
grabby hands.
Snatching her out of the lagoon thing.
He loves that one.
Works every time.
Yeah. So they all meet Bob. And Bob also, just as he walks up, instantly places his hands on George's chest.
Yeah.
As he walks up.
Like, literally caresses her boob. And he's like...
Yeah. And then him and Joe make fun of her because the gun was never loaded.
Yeah.
It's like, these chicks can't even load a gun.
We're free to do what we want here.
Yeah.
They can't even defend themselves.
Yeah, there's fucking babes around. They got dancers. Brilliant.
So weird.
So anyway, Georgia explains their situation and that their boss, Professor Green, turns out was his name, he's dead. It's also revealed that their expedition ship is coming by in 2 days to pick them up.
Yeah.
All right. Not bad. Yeah, we'll be
saved.
Out yeah. In the cabin later at night, dancers are getting all dressed up in their island costumes.
Yeah, bikinis.
Bikinis
Basically,
with some flowers in
skimpy
their hair.
Bikinis, yeah, with some. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna get dressed up for the boys." Why?
Yeah. These two alcoholics.
Yeah. Like you've been that starved for attention. Like, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, especially when you consider that during the cut scenes they probably all lesed off.
Yeah. They've done all right for a month.
Yeah. And Bav says, "I can't believe we'll be back in New York in a couple of days." Where do you think you are?
Yeah.
Texas? You're in the middle of the Pacific. A couple of days.
What are you getting, Concord?
Christ. Anyway, it's their last night on the island, so they decide to have a party. Remember, they got that whiskey, and so Bob's got all the whiskey. So they're dancing, and there's probably a lot of other stuff that was cut in the scene.
There's a lot of dancing. It goes on for a while. Again, slightly uncomfortable.
Gladys and Bob decide to sneak off to the lagoon to bang. And Joe is cozying up to one of them. Anne, that's it. And Joe's now, he's a bit sweet on Anne.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the suicidal one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's, he loves her now.
Yeah, he says, they're having this weird discussion, and he says something like, I should pay more attention to young women. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
You should pay attention to women your own age, Joe.
They have this really awkward conversation, and he's like, you should try saying something nice to a girl. And he's like, I'm really glad your plane crashed. And she's like, oh. And then she goes, I bet you say that to all the girls. If he does, that's fucking weird. And then he calls her dishevelled and neglected, and she says that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me.
He calls her dishevelled and neglected, but you're also kind of cute. And she's like, that's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. And
he's in every bar going, I'm really glad your plane crashed. Like, what are you on about?
Also, I know she's been on the island for a month, but she does not look dishevelled or neglected in any way. She looks gorgeous. Anyway, they're in love.
Yeah, they're in love now.
Yeah, brilliant. Meanwhile, Bob and Gladys are smooching when Babs shows up and decides she wants a bit of Bob.
Yeah, Bob does this. He works his way through the girls.
See, this is where Gary went wrong, being on that island with only beautiful women, and he's there with his girlfriend, Georgia. No wonder he went for a walk. We then have a weird jump edit, I guess more nudity. Bob ditches Gladys and he heads over to Babs, but not before caressing another woman on the way.
Yeah.
He's living his best life.
It's just like...
They're all into it, by the way.
They're fine with it. They literally watch him walk from one to the other, and they're all cool.
He's not even like that good look. Even like for 1960, he's not like leading man material.
No.
It's fucking so weird. And Bob just starts necking Babs, grabbing some titties. Gladys just sulks off. This is in view of everyone, by the way. Yeah. And this inspires Joe to make a move on Anne.
At this point, I thought Gladys had already gone to the lagoon, but turns out she hasn't at all. She's been in the area, but somehow hasn't seen all this. Like, 'cause she's talking to Georgia about, like, he's the one or whatever. It's like, meh.
Yeah. So as Bob is getting off with Babs, another dancer comes over and just starts dancing with him. Yeah. They cannot get enough of Bob. The plot, by the way, is taking a complete break.
Yeah, nothing remotely plot-centric has happened.
No.
For a while.
It's just this dude getting off with these women.
Yeah.
Inside the cabin, Georgia is comforting Gladys, and Gladys says that she loves Bob.
Yeah.
And Georgia says, I hope he doesn't let you down. He's literally outside getting it on with two other women. So Gladys walks out of the cabin, sees this, and storms off again.
Yeah.
A bit later, Bob and Babs head into the cabin and they talk for a bit, and Bob reveals that he actually really likes Gladys.
Yeah, he's like, she's exactly the kind of girl I'm looking for. I've tried the others, but Gladys is the one I want.
And Joe and Anne they're in another room. Everyone is kind of drunk, and at this point they start fighting each other.
Yeah, well, Bob starts spouting some like misogyny, like dames are all the same and all that nonsense. And then Joe's like, "Why are you?"
Yeah. So
for some reason they go to fight, and he goes, "Not here." Like, they're outside at this point. He goes, "Not here." And then they go inside.
Yeah. So, come on. Come with me inside the cabin. We'll fight there so we can throw furniture at each other.
Yeah, so we can, like, dance around this table. That's my favourite bit, actually. Because they're both on the table, and he flips the table and, like, it's Bob in the chin. I'm like, yeah, that's a move. And then the rest is nonsense.
Yeah, so they have this pretty awful fight, these two guys in the cabin, because they have differing views on women.
Yeah.
Until they just get bored of it, and then they stop fighting. They're like, ha, never mind, that was a bit of fun. God, I love being drunk and horny.
You big galoot.
Yeah. So, yeah, they get bored of that. And Bob leaves for his date with, I can't remember who.
Gladys.
Maybe. But he says, I'm leaving for my date. But
yeah, because he was
it's revealed that
Gladys at the
lagoon. Yeah, I can't remember.
And he's in love with Gladys, as he's proved.
Yes. So he wanders off into the jungle. Meanwhile, outside the cabin, Babs and Gladys are having an argument because, Bob.
Yeah.
But Babs tells Gladys that Bob actually really likes her. So Gladys heads off into the jungle to find Bob. No one is concerned about the spider at this point.
No, everyone's forgotten about Spider Gary.
Yeah, like it's just not a thing.
Not mentioned.
No. Bob has made his way to the beach. Eventually, Gladys catches up with him, but by the time she gets there, she finds horny old Bob dead.
Yeah.
With bite marks in his teeth. She's like, oh, right, the spider. Shit.
that
Did
what
they
that
even
is?
mention it to him?
'Cause he's got like a new birthmark or something on his neck, and she's like, strangulation.
Did she say strangulation?
I don't know.
'Cause
I can't
it
remember.
looks
I
like-
assumed it was like.
It's like one mark on the side of his neck,
Yeah.
which to me looks like he'd been bitten. But then, again, he doesn't turn into a spider.
Well, yeah.
He's just dead. It was
So-
just Gary.
Yeah, Gary gave him a love bite to death.
But Gary's the only one that's been turned into a spider.
Yeah, because the Spider Island only had one spider, that was Giuseppe,
Yeah.
and now it has Gary.
But surely if Gary bites someone, they should turn into a spider.
Well, yeah, that's why I assumed that he was strangled. And that mark is a strangulation.
Only
mark.
Giuseppe had the power to turn them.
Yeah,
He was the head spider.
He's like the Dracula spider.
Yeah, right, okay. Sure, let's go with
Yeah,
that.
that works. I think we've thought about it more than the writers.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Did they even tell them like, oh, by the way, we think that our mate Gary has become
I don't think
a
they even
mutant
mentioned
spider?
Gary at
No.
all. Like,
It's like just don't tell them.
just you girls here? Yep.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, always been.
So she finds Bob dead. Gladys then looks up and she screams like hell. All we see is Spider Gary, his hand against a tree.
Yeah, it's just leading, mind his own business.
That wasn't me. Joe and all the ladies back at the cabin, they hear the screams, so they all go looking for them. Meanwhile, Gladys is being chased through the jungle by Gary, the mutant Spider-Man. We never get a real good look at Gary. We get like we see obviously stupid mutant spider hands, and we see his face, which is like kind of fuzzy with some fangs.
Yeah.
He doesn't have 8 legs, by the way.
No, just normal.
Yeah.
Like, it still doesn't have a shirt on.
No. But he's still got his pants on.
Yeah, he's got his trousers
Yeah.
on. And he's got like monster gloves on.
Yeah.
Like, and a like a werewolf mask.
Yeah, with some weird fangs and eye makeup. That's it.
And then every now and again you get one of those weird shots which is filmed in a room somewhere.
It's just his face. Yeah. So Gary is now climbing up a cliff face after Gladys when the others arrive. Joe tries to shoot Gary, but he forgot to bring any bullets. Yeah. So he instructs the ladies to go help Gladys. I'll go back and get some ammo.
Yeah. It's like, you girls follow the mutant spider guy.
I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get some caps for
Yeah,
my
because
cap gun.
I forgot to bring any.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
At the top of the cliff, Gary, Spider Gary, grabs Gladys, but she falls to her death.
Yeah, I feel like she fell. Like, I don't think Gary really killed her. I reckon Gary was like, it's me, Gary! And she was like, get away! Ah! I don't think it was a...
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Gary was never trying to kill any of them. Maybe
Right.
she wanted to hug. Maybe Linda was just a bit of rough sex gone wrong.
Free Spider Gary!
Yeah. He was just like, it's me, Gary! And they all like, that's why he's just trying to like, maybe hug them. They're like, ooh,
Yeah.
get away.
Yeah, we don't. Maybe he can't speak anymore. He's just hissing. Like,
Yeah.
in his head, he's like, I'm Gary! And he's like...
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
And it's been 28 days. He's killed 2 of them,
Yeah, exactly.
possibly both by accident.
Yeah, she might. Yeah, she could have slipped. The first stripper one could have slipped headfirst into that little pond and drowned.
Nah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think. I think Gary's the sympathetic character in this.
So Gladys has fallen to her death. The other ladies arrive too late and they just kind of look down at her corpse. Gary's fucked off now. Joe, on his way back to the cabin, swings by the beach, which feels like it's in the opposite direction, but never mind. Oh, it's also nighttime now,
Yeah,
but also never mind. And he finds dead Bob, who has, again, not turned into a spider himself.
yeah, and he takes the time to. Like, while the girls are trying to run after Gary, takes the time to sort of cradle Bob's head.
Yeah,
Like,
there, Bob.
he's like, oh, Bob. It's like, oh, bullets.
Oh, I forgot about that. He then bumps into Gary and they fight. The full body shots of Gary are all filmed from behind, and he's clearly got no spider makeup on when they shoot the full body shots. It's just him like, just see him behind waving his arms.
Yeah.
The fight kind of just ends. Joe just kind of goes, fuck this, and runs off. Joe arrives back at the cabin where Georgia is now. I don't know where the others are at this point. And they're struggling to find the bullets when Gary comes knocking at the door. Gary eventually smashes through the door and very slowly makes his way towards Georgia. And then Georgia eventually just says, Gary!
Yeah.
And he backs off.
Pack it in right now. Stop showing off.
So then he goes after Joe. Gary grabs Joe and he's choking him to death.
Like in the spider move.
Yes. When Georgia, from nowhere, finds a signal flare and lights it, it turns out Gary is scared of flares.
Well, I love this because they wave the flare at him and he runs off, and then Joe comes out and goes, "Quick, everyone, grab a torch. We can only destroy him with fire." It's like, fuck me, that escalated.
Yeah.
Like, he might just be scared of it. Like, it could have, like, his eyes, it might have hurt his eyes, you know, but he's like, no, this is the only way we can destroy him.
Ever since I lost all the bullets.
Yeah.
We have to do it with fire now.
Oh, maybe that's what he meant. I fucked up, guys. So fire is our only option.
So yeah, everyone else has arrived back. He's handed out flares to everyone to go after Gary. So they pair up and they fan out with these flares to find him. They find Gary after seconds of looking.
Yeah.
And they chase him through the trees. There's one like wide shot of them running, like going across a field with these flares, and it would be quite cool. But then it pans, and then the rest of it's just blocked by a tree.
Yeah.
It's just like
Again, at this point, I was terrified for Gary. Like, all these screaming women and Joe running at him with these flares and stuff, like, and he's just on his own in the middle.
not that you
Run,
can see it because
Gary,
there's a fucking
run!
tree blocking the whole
Yeah.
shot. It's like, okay, and now we pan across. Like, oh, there's a tree blocking it. Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's like we've lost half the shot.
Yeah, we've got
It's
3
fine.
minutes of a tree.
Rap. Yeah, it's so dumb. Eventually, they chase poor old Spider Gary into some quicksand, and he sinks and he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joe's like, better dead than to live like that. Well, who are you to say?
Yeah.
Like, he could have had a life.
Yeah. Don't know.
Like, but yeah, it takes him fucking hours to sink as well, because it's not quicksand, because quicksand's not real. And
It's it's just like mud. It's a muddy
just
beach.
like, he's constantly, she goes, he's sinking, and he's still up to that. He's not.
Or he just like falls to his knees. He's sinking.
Yeah, and then he eventually lies down in it.
And then just goes.
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day, they get on a boat and leave. The end.
That's it.
That's literally, it's like one shot. Bye, everyone. We're going.
Joe's like,
Yeah.
all the girls.
It's like, this one's for you, Bob. As he fucks another one.
Fucking hell.
So, yeah, there was only one spider. Giuseppe.
Yeah, it's Spider Island is like, unless it's called that because Giuseppe owns it.
Yeah.
It's like Epstein Island. Yeah. Spider Island. And just bring the women.
Yeah. It kind of made it sound like from the plot as well, there was going to be like, mutant zombie
Yeah,
spiders.
I was hoping, like, until like sort of 10 minutes in when I was like, this was a porn.
this was porno.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah. Yeah, I thought there was going to be more spiders.
Yeah, more than one. And
Yeah.
Spider Gary.
Yeah. It doesn't really, I don't think, it doesn't warrant Spider Island.
Yeah. Or, nah.
Spider Tree.
Yeah. Giuseppe's Island.
Yeah, Giuseppe's Island.
Giuseppe and the Hot Naked Dancers. Yeah, it's not. Nah, it was. I mean, it's only like an hour and 10 minutes long, something like that.
Oh, yeah. 2 hours, original cut.
Yeah. You can find the original unedited one, which I think is like an hour and a half. It's on like the Internet Archive. I might go watch it for research.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's no robot monster.
No.
No, this is way dumber. And also, yeah, I mean, essentially, this is a porno.
Yeah, this is what happens when you take all of the nudity and
Out
the
of
sex
porn.
out of porn. This is what you're left with.
Yeah, just a really
yeah.
stupid film.
I mean, if this was done to like now, basically you'd have a guy turn up to fix the washing machine and then he'd leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a guy turns up in a taxi, picks up a girl, the end.
Yeah. Where you want to go, love?
Yeah, this is back when porn had real stories.
Yeah. Yeah, about spiders. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of a laugh, but there's definitely better like shitty B movies out there.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was hoping it would be funnier.
Trivia.
Yeah. So, first released in the United States in 1962
Yeah.
as an adults-only movie titled "It's Hot in Paradise." 3 years later, trimmed of its nude scenes, it was re-released in the US as a horror sci-fi monster film, Horrors of Spider Island.
There you go.
The German language film was dubbed into English for North American release, and although Egyptian-born European race star Alexander Darcy, Gary, spoke fluent English, his lines were still dubbed by an unknown American actor.
Yeah.
That was about all of the interesting shit that I could find on that. The rest of it was pretty obvious. Like, everything else was like, used to be a porn.
Well, there you go. That was the Horrors of Spider Island. None of your comments because somebody got logged out of fucking Instagram.
Yeah,
you are such an old man.
I changed my phone, and for some reason Instagram was like, you're not having that account anymore, but we fixed it. I've got it now, so I will post again.
I fixed it.
Finn fixed it, and I've got it back, and I will post again.
Very good. Well, yeah, that's it for another one.
Yep.
Like and subscribe, all that crap.
Yeah, do all that jazz.
Yeah, we'll be back sort of shortly. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. No. That'll do. Bye.
Well, thank you all for coming here tonight and drinking all of my booze.